All right, today we're going to talk about teleprompters. That's where you write down what you're going to say in a video, and then you're reading that as if you're playing the video. In the old days, they used to use cue cards, write it on a big poster board and put it next to the lens, but you're looking off camera. You're looking like that way or that way or that way, and you're reading something. You're not looking at the lens. A teleprompter allows you to have the text right over the lens on a piece of glass, like a heads-up display. That's what they use on the 6 o'clock news. And I'm going to show you how to make your own teleprompter and different ways of doing it. And I'm going to also show you a cool special effect on how to reverse the technology and do a really neat special effect with it, which is, you can do like a Star Wars-y type thing. I'll show you in a second here. Anyway, so the most common way is, well, one way is you put the text on the phone and it scrolls with a teleprompter app at a certain pre-designated speed, and you just put it right below the lens or right above the lens. So you're kind of looking kind of off the lens, and a lot of people, that's the easiest way to do it. Just have your cell phone right there. But if you want to look right into the lens, then you're going to need a piece of glass as a teleprompter. I'll show you how to do that. And can you read that? Okay. The most common way is to read it off of a smartphone like this, when the device is not that far away, like arm's length, up to about 5 or 6 feet, or 1 to 2 meters. This is what most YouTubers do. You know the kind. The RGB background and the baseball cap backwards, and they're reading off of a thing which is right there at arm's length. They're on their desk, and it's right there. So they don't need it that far away. If you need it a little further back, you can use an iPad like this and use bigger text. This works up to about 8 or 9 feet, like around 3 meters. So that's good. But beyond that, you're going to need something even bigger, and I'll show you how to make that. The other thing you'll notice here is that the text is scrolling as I'm talking, which is really cool. This app does this. It's playing cool sounds. Anyway, most basic apps that you can get for free, teleprompter apps, they just scroll at a pre-designated speed, and you have to keep up with it. These ones, they listen to what you're saying, and they keep up with you. If you stop talking, it stops scrolling. If you say something that's not in the script, it stops scrolling. And then when you say something that's in the script, it starts scrolling again. This app that I use is called Teleprompter Pro. I'll put the link down below if I can find it. The other ones, just the free ones, they just scroll. The other thing you'll notice is the text here is just normal text. You can read it normally. But if you want it in a teleprompter, it has to be backwards because it's reading off of a piece of glass that's reflecting like a mirror, in which case the text needs to be like this. So it's backwards. That's what it should look like when it's in a teleprompter. So let me show you a teleprompter. Okay, so here's the basics of how a teleprompter works. You've got your camera. You can use any camera for this, and you need a piece of glass. It doesn't have to be this big, but you have a piece of glass, and the glass needs to be at 45 degrees, roughly. It doesn't have exactly 45 degrees, but at an angle like this to the camera. And then your teleprompter, your iPad or your phone is down here, aiming up at the bottom of the glass, which then reflects this way. The camera cannot see what's hitting this side of the glass. That's the cool thing about glass, is any light that hits the glass from this side cannot be seen by anything on this side. This can only see what's hitting the glass from this side, which leads to kind of something interesting here. You got to be careful because, let's see if I can get a reflection here. You see that? That's a reflection of the lights in the room. So if you have a white room with a bunch of lights, it's going to reflect off this side and go into the lens. The camera's going to see it. So you want to black off this side here. This is an actual teleprompter setup. They have all different versions of it, but it's basically, here's a little tiny piece of glass. So here's the glass right here, 45 degrees, and you put your little thing up here to support it. All right, so now, if I'm standing on this side, I can see reflection of the ceiling and the room and the lights and everything. So you don't want to see any of that. So you have to black out the camera. So now this is invisible to the camera, but it's totally visible to somebody standing right here looking at that. You can make your own. Just get a piece of glass and some black fabric and some foam core, obviously. Foam core, everything. What if you want to have the camera way back. You want to have a telephoto shot where the background's all blurry, but you still want to be able to read and sound intelligent, make people think that you have all this in your mind. Well, to have a lens further back with a blurry background, you need a really big teleprompter. So I'm going to show you how to do that and make your own. Let's make your own. Here we go. Now, obviously, you can use a projector and project it up on a wall and make it as big as you want, but you'd have to have the room pretty dark in order to be able to read it. And you need a projector. Most people don't have a projector. It's a lot easier to just get a piece of glass and this one other thing which you already have. All right, here we go. Really big teleprompter that I hand built, and I'm going to show you how to make it too. It's really easy. It's really basic. It's like the little one, but just bigger. And of course, it's made with foam core. Anyway, so how do you get a big, giant, like, you know, if you have an iPad, that's pretty big, but this is like 4 times as big. What's bigger than an iPad? A computer monitor. So what I did is, this is a computer monitor, a really cheap one. You know, I just got a really cheap one from Best Buy. It's an LG. And I mounted it to a light stand. So this is just a computer monitor. It's on a light stand facing straight up. And then with foam core, well, I got a piece of glass. This is a piece of glass here that I put tape around the edges so I don't cut myself. And then I got some black foam core, and I just created this 45-degree frame that then goes right over top of the monitor. And now this is where the camera goes. And then you plug your whatever device it is that you want to go onto the screen. You can use a computer or an output from a laptop, anything that goes into a monitor. I guess the easiest way is to get a laptop or something, and then anything with an output like HDMI output or whatever, VGI, whatever you can put in here. And then it beams from here up into the glass and reflects to you. So I can have this, like, you know, I can be 12, 15 feet away and read it, no problem. And the camera's here. And then just make sure you have a black cloth over the camera side so you can't see. Like right now, you're seeing the white wall and everything, which, if that's the case, you can't read what's on here. But if you have black fabric back here, then you don't see the white wall anymore. All you see is the text reflecting off of this. This is filthy. This is dirty. That's why you see the dirt. And then the camera then goes in there underneath the black fabric. Now I'm going to show you how to do something really cool with this. Now this is a 45, and instead of this way, I'm going to show you what to do with it this way. Okay, this is such a cool effect. It's so simple and it's so old school, but it's so cool. I have a piece of glass right here. It's kind of dirty. It's filthy. This is quick and dirty, but you'll get the idea. It's at 45 degrees to this camera here. I have a dark background that's kind of required, and I have a black background here. And I have a light aiming at this spot right here. So what's going to happen is, all right, check this out. I'm going to have her come in. She's going to have black over her, covering herself. All right, so she's in position, and it's going to look like I'm going to create a ghost here. Ready? Like the Princess Leia hologram effect. 1, 2, 3. There she is, revealing herself. She's a ghost. Now the ghost is going to disappear. Here she goes. She's disappearing. And again, she's reappearing herself just by putting the black up and down. And I can put my hand through her like she's a ghost. Like, wait a minute. Look at this. I'm putting my hands through her. Where is she? Ah, she looks so cool. What a hot girl. I wish I could grab her, but she's not there. She's teasing me. So la 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 la. You'll never get that. So that's a cool effect just by having a piece of glass at 45 degrees. So what's happening is the light is reflecting off of her 45 degrees, bouncing off of this onto the camera lens there. You cannot see what's on this side. You only see what's on this side. So you use this to advantage. This is the reverse of a teleprompter. But that's another cool effect. Glass, I've done a lot of glass effects. This is what they used to use in the old days before they had computers. Now you can do this with a computer, like with your eyes closed. It's no big deal, but it's a cool effect. I just thought I'd share it with you using a piece of glass to do some cool effects. So I'm going to make the girl disappear. Ready? Here she goes. Click. She's gone. All right. Now I'm going to, let's bring her back. Come on. We're going to wave goodbye. Wave goodbye to everybody. Look into the glass when you do it.
Bye-bye.
Wave, wave, wave. All right.
Bye.
See you next week, guys. Have a good week.